Is that better? Let's see here. Thanks for telling me that. Hello, can you hear me now? Yay. Okay. Thank you. Whoever you are, I don't see who you are. So let me start over then. Happy Thursday. It is dreary, nasty where I am in Georgia. So if you'll tell me how the weather is where you are, and if you will drop your name or say hello in the comments, and remember that I am streaming via StreamYard, which means you have to give StreamYard permission or I can't see who you are. So whoever told me that they can't hear me, thank you, but I can't see your name. So make sure you are giving StreamYard permission. Today's live is all about how to declutter your spending. And for me, this was important to go live today because we're about to embark on the holiday season. We're buying for Christmas. You got Black Friday coming up, and not only for your personal expenses, but also for business. So this you can relate today's topic to both business and personal. Typically in this group, I'm only talking about business things, but today you can really use the tips and tricks that I'm going to give you today to really impact your spending on your personal and business level. So I'm just going to dive in with this. If you are just joining me, say hello. If you're catching the replay, do hashtag replay for me. That would be amazing. All right. So why do we need to declutter our spending? So there's 3 results that you're going to get from decluttering. The first thing you're going to get is you're going to save money. Okay. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to be able to reallocate some of your money that you're spending on things you maybe don't even realize you're spending on to make a greater impact. Okay. And the third thing is this is going to be great pre-work for your budget. And if you've followed me for very long, you know budgets are very, very important to me, both in business and in personal. All right, so we're just going to jump in here. Why do we need to declutter our spending? Well, here are some little things that could happen that would tell you it's time for you to do a spending audit. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So the first thing is if you are steady swiping your debit and credit card, but never really paying attention to what you're spending on. Maybe your credit card balances are higher and higher, and you go, wow, I don't have anything to show for this. That's a time to start decluttering your spending. Also, if you have reoccurring subscriptions. So for personal, you may have reoccurring, let's think, maybe Apple. Apple, like you have a subscription for extra storage. Maybe you have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. Those are recurring expenses that may be coming out of your checking account or being put on your credit card every month, and you don't even realize it, right? It's $7.99 here, $19.99 there, $30 there, and that money starts to add up. All right. And then I want you to really ask yourself this. You have to be honest with yourself when you're doing a decluttering of your spending and ask yourself, do I really know where all my money goes? And if you can honestly answer that and your answer is no, you don't know where all your money is going, it's time to do a spending audit. Okay, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I actually have it broke down into 6 easy steps for you. And then I also have a free spending audit worksheet that I can send you. All you have to do is comment on this post to say, please send me the audit, and I will send it over to you. Okay, so let's jump in. The very first thing is I want you to set a goal. Okay, setting the goal is important because, like I said, you have to be honest with yourself during this, and it's going to get hard. So, for us women, if you're a woman in here joining me today, when we go to purge our closet, clean out our closet once or twice a year, for me, it's really hard for me to get rid of something. Even if I haven't worn it in 2 or 3 years, I still think I might wear that. So if that's you, tell me so in the comments. But I have a really hard time with that. My husband, on the other hand, is completely different, right? He is a very simplistic person. The simpler, the better. And he throws out things sometimes, and I have no clue that it was even gone until I look for it 2 years later. And he's like, honey, that's been gone. but still, right? I like to keep things. Maybe I'm a hoarder. I don't know. No, not a hoarder. So when you're setting a goal, I want you to you can set a goal two different ways. The first goal is going to be that you want to cut so much out of your spending. So maybe you go into this and you say, I want to cut $100 a month out of my spending. Okay, that's one way you can set the goal. The other way you can set the goal is if you know realistically how much money you make each month, then you say, you know what? I want to spend only X amount of dollars. So you see the difference there. The first one is I want to go into my budget or go into my expenses and I want to cut out so much. Maybe it's $100, $200, whatever. I've got to find that much in savings. The other option is I only want to spend so much per month. And then we're going to work backwards on this. Okay. So the first step is to set a goal. And I see some comments coming through. Awesome. Yay. I will gladly. Whoever said, please send me your audit. I don't see who you are. So I'll have to go back to you in just a minute. So first step, set a goal. The second step is I want you to gather all the information that you're going to need to do your spending audit. Okay. And those are going to be your bank statements, your credit card statements, and any Venmo, PayPal, anywhere you spend money. And if you're a cash spender, you got to keep up with your receipts, which is really hard. Most of us are not cash spenders anymore. So if you are, tell me. But I don't see that a lot. A lot of us just swipe cards. So easy to swipe cards, right? To the point that I know when I was younger, I would tell my mother, just write a check. Right? You got plenty of money, write a check. Our kids now in this society say, just swipe your card, right? They just feel it's an endless supply. And so with that, I want you to pull your bank statements, your credit card statements, and any form of method that you actually spend money, Venmo, PayPal, what have you, okay? And I want you to pull that for at least 3 months, but I prefer you do a spending audit for 6. That way you can really see different things that are going on in your business or in your personal spending. Okay. So don't just look at 1 month, do 3 months with 6 months with a minimum of 3 months. Any questions, just drop those in the comments below. All right. Step 3 is I want you to go through your expenses, things that are coming out of your bank account, things that are coming out that you're charging on your credit card. And I want you to look for things that are reoccurring. What am I talking about? Well, that if you're personal, we're talking about personal, that could be your Netflix, your Amazon Prime, that could be your Hulu subscriptions. It may be that you're going through the Chick-fil-A drive-through 3 and 4 times a week. That would be recurring, right? If you're going out to eat on a regular basis, that's a recurring thing. It may not be to the same exact place, but it's something that you're doing over and over and over again. Okay. Those things I want you to write down. If you're a business and you have subscriptions like StreamYard, Canva, looking here at my list here, QuickBooks online, if you have credit card payments that you're paying, those are the things that are happening every month in your business, every month in your personal accounts. I want you to write those down. And it's important that you write down the day, what it is, and how much you spent. Okay. And the reason I want you to write down the day is for cash flow purposes. Many of us make money, but we run out during certain parts of the month. So if you know when things are happening, for example, if your car payment, your house payment, and your light bill are all due on the same week every month, well, there's some budgeting that has to go on, or either you need to change some dates around. Right? So I want you to put it to pen and paper, write it down, put it in a spreadsheet, use my spending audit to be able to see these things. Just knowing what's coming out of your bank account, it's not going to work. You have to see it. You got to put your eyes on it. Okay. Any questions so far? I don't see any in the comments. All right. So I'm going to move along to step 4. Step 4 is to categorize, to prioritize. What does that mean? Well, I want you to go through and I want you to put all recurring expenses into 3 different categories. The first category is going to be essential. These items are absolutely 100% necessary. Those could be in your personal account. That could be your car payment. Okay. And yes, you could always get a new vehicle, lower your car payments. We're not getting into all that. Okay. But you got to have a car, right? So that would be essential. Your house payment, your rent payment would be essential. Your utilities, with lights, water would be essential, right? I wouldn't consider personally for me Hulu, Netflix, what is the other one? Disney channel. I don't think those would be essential to me. It may be essential to you. So everybody is going to be different, right? For your business, essential for me would be StreamYard, because that is what I use to go live with you guys every Thursday at 1:00. Essential for me is going to be QuickBooks Online, because I'm a bookkeeper and that's what I use to do bookkeeping services, right? For you, it could be something different. It could be Canva. It could be ConvertKit, Kajabi. Those are things that are essential to running your business. All right. The second categorization is going to be those that are non-essential. So those are the things that are nice to have, but they're not necessary. Okay. So essential means you can't do your business without them. You can't live without them. Non-essential are going to be, they're nice to have, but do I really have to have them? Okay. For personal, that's where I would put my Hulu and my Netflix and things of that nature. For my business, let me think. What would I use there that's non-essential? Maybe I have, and I'm finding in my reoccurring expenses that maybe I'm paying 2 different broadcast services. Maybe I have StreamYard and a different one, and I forgot to cancel that subscription. That would be non-essential. Actually, that would be not needed. That would be the third category. But you follow what I'm saying. So the third category is not needed. Those are things that I am not using and they are just eating up my money. Those would be subscriptions that you guys have maybe did a 14-day trial for, and now they're charging your card every month. That's $7.99. Guys, $8 a month will add up, because usually if you're doing free trials on something, we do more than one because we're trying to compare different platforms, right? And then we forget all about it. We pick our favorite and then we just forget about the rest of them. So go through and actually find your recurring expenses, and then I want you to categorize them between essential, non-essential, and not needed. All right. Those are the 3 things I want you to do. And you can do that inside of my spending audit as well. The 5th thing that I want you to do is I want you to decide on your action steps. So what am I going to do? I know now what's essential, not essential, and not needed, but what am I going to do about it? So the first thing is, if I'm not using it, I'm going to put an action down that I'm going to cancel those subscriptions. All right. And then maybe I'm going to look at some of the things that I'm using that are essential or maybe non-essential, but they're really nice to have. And I'm going to find ways to cut the amount of money that I'm spending. So maybe I'm using, if you're in business, maybe I'm using Kajabi. A Kajabi is almost $200 a month. Then I would look for an alternative to Kajabi that would do the same thing for me, but would save me money. So find an alternative. And I have a comment, so let me see. Awesome. Hey, how are you? Thanks for hopping on. All right. So then I want you to, if you feel that you're spending too much, if you look at this, and guys, 9 times out of 10, when you do a spending audit, it opens your eyes and you realize, oh my goodness, I'm spending so much more money than I realized. I've got to cut. I've got to do something. I've got to stop spending. I'm not going to have enough money in my budget to buy Christmas gifts for my family or whatnot, right? You're not saving anything. So it's time for you to figure out what those action steps are going to be. What are you willing to give up to have better financial freedom within your business and within your personal spending as well? So decide on those action steps, write them down. These are the things that I am going to do. Okay. And this is where most people stop. We know what we need to do, but then we never follow through. So the 6th step in this is going to be to take action. I want you to write it on your calendar that I am going to spend time. Maybe it's an hour this week, maybe it's an hour next week if it takes that long. And I am going to finish up my spending audit. I've done the audit. I know the things that I need to change. I have decided on those action steps, and then I'm going to take action. So pencil it in, actually marker it in, highlight it in your calendar, because if you're like me, if it's not on the calendar, it's not getting done, and do it. Finally do the things. Take the action on those action steps. Cut your spending. Find different ways to eliminate some of your expenses. If you find that most of your expenses are coming out on the same week of the month, maybe it's time to get on the phone to your lenders and say, hey, can I change my payment due date on these? And that way that'll help you with cash flow. Most of them are very willing to do that for you, maybe bump it up or bump it back a week or so. You will really start to realize changes in your finances if you do those things. Okay. All right. So is there any questions? I'm going to open it up for Q&A. This time is a really short live today, but guys, it's so important for you to do this spending audit. This is something that I work with on a regular basis with my bookkeeping clients. We look through their reoccurring, we look through their expenses every month. We plan a budget. We have goals set. Goals are so important, but if you set them and you never take action to them, what was the point in setting them to begin with, right? You have to take action. I actually was speaking in another group yesterday, and I told them, put on that CEO hat. And if you're talking about personal finances, if you don't have a business and you're watching, you have to put on that CEO, CFO hat every day and make decisions around your finances, because if you let it go too long, it could really, really, really damage things in your business and things in your personal finances. So any questions? I'm not seeing any questions hop on just yet. Did this help you? Are you ready to take control of your spending so that you can really get a grip on things? Get a grip on it now. You have 2 months to really start working on this. And you're going to feel the pain of it to begin with. I promise you that. But after, a couple of months of this, getting into the habit of saying, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going through the Chick-fil-A drive-through today. And I say that in case my daughter's watching. She loves Chick-fil-A. She goes probably 3 times a week. And you don't realize where you're spending your money until you really do a spending audit to know where those things are coming from. All right. Any questions? If you want that spending audit, make sure that you drop that in the comments. And if you have watched this and you haven't already, #replay or say hello. Would love to connect with you guys. And if you know anyone else who could benefit from this spending audit, I'm going to plug the replay link below, and you can actually share that. You can share that on your Facebook page. You can share that individually with people who may need this. Remember, this is not just for business. It could also be for personal spending as well. All right. So we are at our 20-minute mark. So that's awesome. Hope you guys have a really great weekend. It was Thursday, but I hope you have a great weekend. If you ever need help with your bookkeeping, make sure to reach out to me, send me a DM, and I will be very glad to talk to you guys. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next Thursday at 1 o'clock for more strategies. See you soon. Bye, guys.